What is up, everybody? Welcome to Sports Magazine Collector. I'm Brad, and today I'm going to count down the top Sports Illustrated covers of the 1970s, beginning with numbers 40 through 21. All right, if you haven't seen my countdown list from the other decades, make sure you check those out. But for now, let's make a couple things clear. There are a lot of different ways that we could rank these issues, but this ranking is based on what I believe to be the most collectible and potentially valuable. And since there is not sales data out there right now for all of these covers, this list is 100% subjective and it's based on my own personal opinions. Also, when I cover the population reports, the numbers that I talk about are based on newsstand issues only. That means that they never had a mailing label on the cover. If you want to learn more about that distinction, check out some of my other videos. But for now, let's jump into the countdown. Starting us off at number 40, we have John Wooden and Billie Jean King. This is the first Sports Illustrated cover appearance for both of these individuals. Now, these two are totally different. John Wooden, legendary college basketball coach. Billie Jean King, one of the greatest women's tennis players of all time. So why are they on the cover together? Well, as you can see, this is 1972, and John Wooden was named the Sportsman of the Year. Billie Jean King was named the Sportswoman of the Year. So this year in 1972, John Wooden won his sixth consecutive championship with UCLA. They finished with a 30-0 record. And Billie Jean King that year in 72, she won all three of the Grand Slams that she had played in that year, being Wimbledon, the French Open, and the US Open. So a big year for both of them. They're featured on here together for each of their first cover appearances. John Wooden appeared on a total of 2 Sports Illustrateds, and Billie Jean King appeared on a total of 3. So John Wooden, like I said, absolutely legendary college basketball coach. He won 10 total NCAA championships, including 7 in a row. He was the 7-time NCAA Coach of the Year. And then Billie Jean King, she was a world number 1. She won a total of 12 major championships, which is still good for 7th all time. So this issue has been graded a total of 5 times, and the leader is a 9.0. At number 39, we have Ferguson Jenkins. This is his first Sports Illustrated cover. This is from 1971. This is actually the only time that Fergie Jenkins ever appeared on the cover of Sports Illustrated. He had a great career. He's a Hall of Famer. He won a Cy Young Award. He was a 3-time All-Star. He finished his career with 284 wins. He's also one of only 19 pitchers to be in the 3,000 strikeout club. There were a couple years in the 1960s where Fergie Jenkins actually played with the Harlem Globetrotters during his offseason from baseball. And he's also the first ever Canadian elected to the Hall of Fame. Now, I love this cover. You got Fergie Jenkins looking great in his Cubs uniform there. Says, "Here comes the Cubs." Brace yourself for this little tidbit. There has never been a copy of this issue graded by CGC. Coming in at number 38, we have the chairman of the boards. It's Moses Malone. This is Moses Malone's first Sports Illustrated cover. This is from 1979. He appeared on the cover of SI 4 total times. Now, Moses Malone has to be one of the most underrated NBA players in the history. When you look at his career accomplishments, how in the world is this guy not talked about more than he is? He's a Hall of Famer, 13-time All-Star. He won 3 MVP awards. He also won the championship in 1983, and he was the Finals MVP. And he's number 18 on ESPN's all-time list. So whatever the reason be, I don't know, but love this cover, beautiful image. There have only been 2 copies of this issue graded, and the current leader is an 8.5. Number 37. How's this for star power? We've got Kareem AbdulJabbar making his 11th of 29 Sports Illustrated cover appearances. And we have Wilt Chamberlain. This is his 6th out of 10 Sports Illustrated appearances. So I absolutely love this cover. There's a lot of things I like about it. First off, the title Man in the Middle. When I think Man in the Middle, these are honestly probably the 2 first names that pop in my mind as far as great centers, Wilt Chamberlain and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I love how you've got the classic image of Kareem shooting his sky hook, that he was absolutely known for, his patented move. And then I also like how Wilt Chamberlain is wearing goggles. This was really late in Wilt's career. This was actually his very last season in the NBA, 1973. And he's wearing goggles in this image. Kareem is not. But Kareem actually went on to play almost his entire career in the 80s wearing goggles. So I just think that's interesting. I think this whole cover is awesome with both of them on there. Beautiful image. And so, yeah, this comes in at number 37 for all those reasons. So, accomplishments for these two guys, we know that they're legends. Kareem is in the Hall of Fame. He won 6 NBA championships. He won 6 MVP awards, which is still a record. 19-time All-Star, still a record. He's the all-time leading scorer. He won 3 NCAA championships, 3-time College Player of the Year. He's got a Presidential Medal of Freedom, and he's number 3 on the ESPN all-time list. Will Chamberlain, also Hall of Fame, 13-time All-Star. He won 4 MVPs. He won 7 scoring titles, 11 rebounding titles, 1 assist title, 2-time NBA champ, and he comes in at number 6 on the ESPN all-time list. So you've got the 6 and the number 6 and the number 3 greatest NBA players of all time, according to ESPN, here on the cover together. Love it. There have been 6 copies of this issue graded, and there is a 9.8 currently in existence. At number 36, as Adam Sandler would say, it's Hall of Famer Rod Carew. This is his first Sports Illustrated cover, 1974. He appeared on a total of 4 covers. I love the headline here, hit them where they ain't. Rod, could you please teach some people in today's game how to do that? He was a great hitter. He's in the Hall of Fame. He won an MVP. He was an 18-time All-Star. He won 7 batting titles, finished his career with over 3,000 hits. He also won the prestigious 1977 Roberto Clemente Award, and he comes in at ESPN's list at number 75 for the greatest players all time. So this issue has only been graded a total of 3 times, and the current leader is a 9.2. Checking in at number 35, we have Walt Frazier and Jerry West, another awesome duo here. So this is Walt Frazier's 3rd Sports Illustrated cover appearance out of 3 times. This is Jerry West's 3rd appearance out of 5 times. This cover is from 1973. This just screams vintage. I absolutely love the colors. Love the short shorts, the tall socks. You got the knee braces. You got the old school jerseys of just 2 absolute NBA greats. So this cover is beautiful. Jerry West, Hall of Famer, 14-time All-Star, won an NBA championship. He comes in at number 16 on ESPN's all-time list. And Walt Frazier, he's a Hall of Famer. He made 7 All-Star teams. He's a 2-time NBA champ, and he comes at number 39 on ESPN's all-time list. A little more about Walt Frazier. So everyone remembers Game 7 of the 1970 NBA Finals as the Willis Reed game, the game where Willis Reed came back out of the locker room and kind of helped, lead the Knicks to the championship. But really, it was Walt Frazier who powered the Knicks to that win. He had 36 points, 19 assists, 7 rebounds, and 6 steals in that Game 7 clinching win. So Walt Frazier is amazing. Also got to give him a shout out. He's an alum to one of my alma maters, Southern Illinois Salukis. He actually led SIU to the 1967 NIT championship over Marquette. He's the color commentator right now for the New York Knicks broadcast, and he's known for his absolutely fabulous sense of fashion. So Jerry West, he's the logo, enough said. But this issue has been graded a total of 3 times, and the leader is an 8.5. At number 34, pitching great Steve Carlton. This is his first Sports Illustrated cover. This is from 1973. He appeared on a total of 3 covers. Now, Steve Carlton, Hall of Famer. He won 4 Cy Youngs. He won a pitching triple crown. He was a 10-time All-Star, 2-time World Series champion, and he checks in at number 58 on ESPN's all-time list. Now, those 4 Cy Young awards that Carlton won, that's only been bested by Roger Clemens with 7, Randy Johnson with 5, and then Greg Maddux also matched him with 4. So once again, he's an all-time pitching great. This issue has been graded 8 times, and the leader, a 9.0. At number 33, love this cover. It's Mark Fidrych. It's his first Sports Illustrated cover from 1977. He appeared on the cover 2 times. He was a 2-time All-Star. He was a Rookie of the Year. He won an ERA title, and he went 29-19 over 5 seasons. He finished 2nd in the 1976 Cy Young. Okay, let's not kid ourselves. This cover is awesome because of Big Bird. This is Big Bird's first Sports Illustrated cover. This is Big Bird's only Sports Illustrated cover. Big Bird is a legend. Big Bird's an all-time great. Really unique issue here because obviously Sports Illustrated usually has athletes. There's only a handful of covers that feature non-athletes. And Big Bird, man, he's a Muppet. He's a legend. He stood 8 feet 2 inches tall. He was actually named a living legend by the U.S. Library of Congress. He has his own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He had his own movie in 1985 called Follow That Bird. And he was also featured on his own U.S. postage stamp in 1999. So gotta love Big Bird. The reason that Big Bird appeared on this cover is because Mark Fidrych, who I already mentioned, he was nicknamed the Bird, and that was because he had a resemblance to Big Bird. Now, Fidrich was known for his really wacky behavior on the mound. He would talk to the ball, he would strut around the mound after every out, and his career ended really early due to arm injuries. Like I said, he actually did appear on 2 Sports Illustrated covers. He kind of had like a really hot start to his career, but then it just fizzled out really quickly. So this issue is awesome because of Big Bird, and there has never been a copy of this issue graded by CGC. Number 32, let's get some boxing action up in here. It's Sugar Ray Leonard. This is 1979. This is the very first cover appearance for Sugar Ray Leonard out of 13 times that he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Sugar Ray Leonard had an overall boxing record of 36-3. He won world titles in 5 different weight classes. He was the first boxer ever to win over $100 million in total purse money, and he's ranked the number 9 greatest fighter on the Ring's all-time list. He was also the 1981 Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year. So this issue has only been graded 1 time, and it is a 9.0. Number 31, as we've already seen with some other covers on this countdown, when you combine major star power with a really cool looking cover, you've got some collectability. As is the case here, it's Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer, 2 absolute golfing legends. So this is the 10th time that Nicklaus appeared on the cover out of a total of 22 appearances, and it's the 15th of 16 appearances for Arnold Palmer. Jack Nicklaus, he is the all-time leader in major championships for golf, having won 18. That's still 3 ahead of Tiger Woods, and then Palmer also won 7 major championships himself. But like I said, these are 2 of the most beloved, most legendary golfers of all time. Really cool looking photo here, and this is from 1970. This issue has been graded 3 times, with the current leader being a 7.5. Number 30, it's not Andre 3000, it's Say Hey 3000. We got Willie Mays, the Say Hey Kid. Absolutely beautiful cover here. You got the up close shot. He just hit his 3,000th career hit, and this is Willie Mays' 5th cover appearance out of 10 times he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. This was from 1970. You just cannot go wrong with Willie Mays. Hall of Famer, 2-time MVP. He won 12 Gold Gloves. He was a 20-year All-Star. Finished his career with over 3,000 hits, over 600 home runs. He's one of only 4 players to do that. And he is just an absolute legend. He is one of the top 3 greatest baseball players of all time. And this issue has been graded 9 times. The current leader is a 9.2. At number 29, we have Royals third baseman, George Brett. This is his first cover. He appeared on the cover of Sports Illustrated 6 times, and this is from 1976. So George Brett, he's a Hall of Famer. He won an MVP. He was a 13-time All-Star. He won a World Series championship. He's in the 3,000 hit club. He came in at number 43 on ESPN's all-time list. He's also got the 2nd most hits in MLB history for a third baseman, only being 12 behind Adrian Beltre. He's one of only 5 players in MLB history to accumulate both 3,000 hits, 300 home runs, and a career 300 batting average. The other players in that club are Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, Miguel Cabrera, and Stan Musial. And he's the only player in MLB history to win a batting title in 3 different decades. So great player, great issue here. It's been graded 6 times, and the current leader is a 9.4. At number 28, we have Kareem AbdulJabbar. This is the first time that Kareem appeared on the Sports Illustrated cover in his Lakers uniform. So to me, that's substantial. He appeared on 29 Sports Illustrated covers. Most people associate Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with the Lakers. He played a total of 20 seasons in the NBA. 14 of those were with the Lakers. He won 6 NBA championships. 5 of those were with the Lakers. And, the Lakers have a really large and rabid fan base. So all of that kind of makes this a big deal to me. And we already know that Kareem is one of the all-time greats. We already talked about his accomplishments. Just absolutely love this photo. Up close shot of him attacking the basket. There's those goggles we talked about earlier. And this issue has been graded a total of 5 times, with the leader being an 8.0. Number 27. So we're already 14 issues in this countdown. And believe it or not, this is our first appearance by a football player. We have Dallas Cowboys Hall of Fame quarterback Roger Staubach. So Staubach appeared on 2 Sports Illustrated covers. His first was in college, and this is his second, but it's the first time he appeared in his Cowboys uniform. So this is from 1978. And, the Dallas Cowboys are known as America's team, whatever, but they've got a lot of collectability, really big fan base. And, if you're someone like Staubach, who's the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, and you won some Super Bowls, that brings a lot of collectability with it. So he's in the Hall of Fame. He made 6 Pro Bowls. He took the Cowboys to 4 Super Bowls, winning 2 of them. He also won a Super Bowl MVP. And Staubach also won the Heisman Trophy back in 1963 while he played at Navy, and he served a tour of duty in Vietnam. So Roger Staubach, really awesome cover here. This has been graded a total of 2 times, with the current leader being an 8.0. Coming in at number 26, unique cover here, we have Steve Prefontaine with his first and only Sports Illustrated cover. This is from 1970. So Steve Prefontaine, legendary long-distance runner. He's shown here on the cover as a freshman at the University of Oregon. Really cool headline, America's Distance Prodigy. So Prefontaine won 3 straight NCAA cross-country championships and then 4 straight 3-mile titles in track. At the University of Oregon. He never lost a single college race in the 3 or the 6 mile. And he was 19 years old when he was on the cover here. He actually died at age 24 in a car accident in Oregon. And he is largely credited with starting the running boom that happened in the 1970s. So this issue is really cool. It's only been graded 9 times, and the current leader is a 9.0. Number 25, it's Pops, Willie Stargell. This is his first Sports Illustrated cover appearance out of 3 total times that he was on the cover. This is from 1971, and Willie Stargell is a Pittsburgh favorite. He's a Pirates favorite, a legend who played for the Pirates, and he is in the Hall of Fame. He won an MVP. He won a World Series MVP, 7-time All-Star, finished his career with 475 home runs, and he comes in at number 88 on ESPN's all-time list. So actually, after Willie Stargell died, fellow Hall of Famer Joe Morgan said, "When I played, there were 600 baseball players, and 599 of them loved Willie Stargell. He's the only guy I could have said that about. He never made anybody look bad, and he never said anything bad about anybody." So Willie Stargell, very popular player. This issue, I love the imagery, and there have been 3 copies graded. The leader is a 9.0. Coming in at number 4, we have Dick Butkus. This is from 1970. He appeared on 2 Sports Illustrated covers. The first was with the University of Illinois, and the second, which is this one here, his first pro cover with the Chicago Bears. So Dick Butkus, he's a Hall of Famer. He was an 8-time Pro Bowler in 9 seasons, and he was a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. And this is awesome. Listen to this. According to another Hall of Famer, Deacon Jones, he said, "Butkus was a well-conditioned animal, and every time he hit you, he tried to put you in the cemetery, not the hospital." Love that quote from Deacon Jones, and I love this cover. You can tell just by looking at him that he was a scary and he was an intimidating player, and the headline says it right there, the most feared man in the game. So Dick Butkus, awesome cover here. There have been 12 copies of this issue graded, with the current leader being a 9.0. Coming in at number 23, we have Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. The headline says the epic battle, but this is better known as the Thrilla in Manila. This cover is from 1975. This is Muhammad Ali's 21st cover. He appeared 38 times. This is Joe Frazier's 6th cover. He appeared 8 times. So we know that Muhammad Ali is known as the greatest. Smokin' Joe Frazier was actually the very first boxer ever to defeat Muhammad Ali. He was a heavyweight champion from 1970 to 1973, and he was 3 times named the Fighter of the Year by The Ring. He's also listed as the 8th greatest heavyweight fighter of all time. So the Thriller in Manila, this was an absolutely classic moment. Ali and Frazier fought 3 times. So Frazier won the first, Ali won the second, and then this was the third matchup with Muhammad Ali coming out on top. And this fight was absolutely punishing for both sides. Before the fight, Ali, of course, was up to his usual antics. He pulled out a rubber toy gorilla. He was hitting it repeatedly, and he said, "This is Joe Frazier's conscience." And then he even recited a poem saying, "It will be a killer and a chiller and a thriller when I get the gorilla in Manila." And that's what led to the fight being known as the Thrilla in Manila. So during the fight, Ali actually said to Frazier, he said, "They said you were through, Joe. They lied." And it went 14 rounds, just absolutely grueling. And after the 14th round, Ali went back to his corner demanding that they cut his gloves off to end the fight. But his cornerman, Angelo Dundee, he ignored him. And that ended up working out because on the other side of the ring at the same time, the ref stopped the fight because Frazier had a totally closed up left eye, and then his right eye was almost totally closed up as well. So the next day, Ali actually said it was the closest thing to dying that he knew of. And a couple years later, he went on to tell another interviewer that he felt that this fight was his best ever performance. So Thrilla in Manila, epic moment. And this is an awesome cover. It's been graded 16 times, and the current leader is a 9.6. Coming in at number 22, very interesting issue here. We have featured Larry Sonka and Jim Kick. So Larry Sonka, this is his first Sports Illustrated cover. This is 1972. Both of these guys were really key players on the 1972 undefeated Miami Dolphins. And so Jim Kick actually appeared on two Sports Illustrated covers. Larry Sonka appeared on four. Like I said, this is the first for both. And Sonka is a Hall of Famer. He made 5 Pro Bowls, actually won 2 Super Bowls, and he was the Super Bowl 8 MVP. Kick is not in the Hall of Fame, but he was a 2-time Pro Bowler. And like I said, also a prominent player on those 1972 Miami Dolphins. So take a close look at this cover. Do you notice anything unusual? Well, if you look closely, you will see that Larry Sonka is actually discreetly flipping the bird. And so that's what makes this issue really interesting and what makes it kind of collectible. I did a lot of research trying to figure out if this was intentional, if Sonka was just trying to, slip one past the Sports Illustrated folks, or, if SI had planned this, what's the story? After a lot of digging, I finally found some quotes by Larry Sonka, and here's what he said. Sonka said, "We shot probably 200 photos that day of all different kinds of poses. We had a couple photos that we wanted just for us to be funny, so we did that. And somehow that photo got in with the others, and it inadvertently got put on the cover. I received very nasty letters from some irate nuns for about 5 years after that." He went on to say, "I sometimes wonder if it wasn't done on purpose by Sports Illustrated, but it wasn't meant to be on the cover. It was meant for our own personal thing. So after that, I didn't do it anymore. I certainly apologized, but at the same time, it was supposed to be private and it didn't turn out that way." And lastly, he said, "But I'll tell you what, a lot of people kept that issue." So this is pretty interesting to me. It really reminds me of sports cards and how there are some sports cards where it was an error. It's known as an error card. And sometimes those error cards go on to have more value because of that little slip up. The most classic example is the Billy Ripken baseball card, where he's holding a bat, and then on the knob of the bat, there is an obscenity written that is clearly shown on the card, and it somehow got past, I think it was Tops, got past, Tops, and they printed a bunch of cards with that, and they were distributed. They, later caught it, and then sent out a bunch of edited versions with it whited out or whatever. But that's what this kind of reminds me of. To me, this is almost like an error issue. We don't know, or at least I don't know, whether or not Sports Illustrated realized it was on the cover, whether or not they did it intentionally. But regardless, there it is, Larry Sonka flipping the bird right on the cover. I think it's pretty cool. Even cooler that he's a Hall of Famer, and so that's what makes this issue collectible. It has only been graded 2 times, and the current leader is a 9.4. Wrapping up the first half of our countdown and coming in at number 21, we have Steve McQueen, a very unique cover. This is the first and only time that Steve McQueen appeared on the cover of Sports Illustrated. So this is from 1971, and Steve McQueen was most well known as an actor. He was actually the highest paid movie star in 1974, but he was also an avid motorcycle and race car enthusiast. He was actually inducted into the Off-Road Motorsports Hall of Fame in 1978. So Steve McQueen was known as the King of Cool, and actually in 1971, the same year that this Sports Illustrated was released, there was a motorcycle documentary that was put out, and it featured McQueen, and it was called On Any Sunday. So this is a really unique and really cool issue. It's only been graded a total of 3 times, and the current leader is an 8.0. That's it. Stay tuned for numbers 1 through 20 coming out soon. I always appreciate likes, comments, and subscribes on my channel, and we will see you guys next time.